Time to pull up a chair. We've got another great story for you today in the rLounge. There's always that one person doing all the work, making sure everything runs smoothly, covering everyone else's mistakes, and then the people who contributed nothing get the credit, or in this case, try to take the gift too. Today in the rLounge, this bride wanted a magazine-worthy wedding and got a parking lot special instead. Cousin uninvited me from her wedding, so I took back my gift and my venue. She got married in a parking lot. I, 28 female, got a call from my cousin Anna, 26 female, announcing her engagement to her boyfriend Peter of 3 years. We've always been close despite our family's tendency for drama, so I wasn't surprised when she asked me to be a bridesmaid. I was actually pretty excited. About a week later, I went dress shopping with Anna, her mom, and the other bridesmaids. Right away I noticed she was being unusually demanding. She kept making comments about how everything had to be perfect and magazine-worthy. I figured it was just wedding stress and didn't think that much of it. During lunch, she started complaining about venue hunting and how everything decent was either booked solid or way overpriced. That's when I remembered my godmother owns the beautiful lakeside property with gardens that she rents out for weddings. I casually mentioned it, and you would have thought I told Anna I found a pot of gold. She immediately grabbed my arm and begged me to connect them. I called my grandmother that night, and she agreed to offer the venue at a massive family discount, 75% off the normal rate, which would save them about $15,000. We all went to tour the property together, and both Anna and Peter fell in love with it. The place really is stunning, with views of the lake, perfectly maintained gardens, and a renovated barn that looks rustic, but has all modern amenities. My godmother finalized the discount, but required me to be the official contact and guarantor since she was doing this as a favor to me specifically. I decided to make the venue my wedding gift to them, so I put down the $5,000 deposit myself. When I told Anna, she actually broke down crying, hugging me, and saying that it was the most generous gift ever. I signed all the paperwork as the responsible party for the venue. Fast forward to bridesmaid dress fittings. Anna chose these expensive designer gowns that cost $650 each. It was definitely a strain on my budget. During the fitting, though, she started making these little comments about my appearance, suggesting I should tone up before the wedding and asking if I was planning to do something different with my hair because my current style wouldn't photograph well with the other bridesmaids. Then came the bachelorette party planning. Anna didn't want just a night out. She wanted a 5-day trip to this exclusive resort. When I expressed some concern about the cost, she got snippy and said, "Not just everyone is as generous as you were with the venue, I guess." That stung. My boyfriend Ryan met Peter at a group dinner, and afterward, he told me Peter had been making inappropriate comments about Anna's bridesmaids. Ryan said Peter kept rating us on a scale from 1 to 10 and talking about which bridesmaids he would go for if he wasn't marrying Anna. Things started getting stranger when Anna suddenly added 3 new bridesmaids to the wedding party, all from Peter's side. I noticed I was gradually being pushed further from the inner circle. My texts weren't being answered as quickly and sometimes not at all. The final cost for the bachelorette party came in at $2,200 per person. When I asked if there was any cheaper options, the maid of honor sent a passive-aggressive response in the group chat. "We all want to give Anna the celebration she deserves. If money is tight for anyone, maybe you should reconsider being a bridesmaid." No one else said anything, and I felt too awkward to push back. Then, Anna posted photos of a bridesmaid's lunch that I wasn't invited to. When I texted her about it, she claimed it was last minute and not a big deal. But from the photos, it looked pretty planned, with personalized gift bags and everything. I reluctantly paid for the bachelorette trip in full, only to receive a long text from Anna that night criticizing my lack of enthusiasm about wedding duties. According to her, I wasn't posting enough about her wedding on social media and didn't seem honored enough to be part of her special day. The bachelorette trip was a nightmare. I was clearly being excluded from photos and activities. The new bridesmaids would whisper and then stop talking when I approached. One night, one of them, Megan, got super drunk and let it slip that Anna had been trash-talking me behind my back. Apparently, she'd been telling everyone I was only a bridesmaid because she felt obligated since I got her the venue discount. I asked her privately if what Megan said was true. She accused me of making her special time about yourself and saying I was being dramatic and jealous of her friends. I packed my bags, called an Uber to the airport, and flew home 2 days before everyone else. 2 days later, I got this novel-length text claiming I ruined the bachelorette trip with my attitude problem and jealousy issues. She demanded I apologize to everyone, especially her. I sent back a pretty measured response saying we should talk when emotions weren't running so high. Complete silence for 3 days. I figured she was just cooling off, but then I checked the wedding website and discovered I'd been removed from the bridal party entirely. My name was just gone from the list of bridesmaids. I texted Anna asking what was going on. She called me the next day and said I was too difficult to deal with, and she was removing me as a bridesmaid. I asked if I was still invited to the wedding at least, and there was this long pause before she said, I think it's best if you don't come, but we'll keep your venue gift, of course. I was shocked. She uninvited me from the wedding, but expected me to keep the venue that I had secured and paid this deposit for? I hung up and sat there stunned for a while. Then I called my godmother to explain what happened. She was furious on my behalf and reminded me that I was the actual client on the contract, not Anna. My name was on all the paperwork as the responsible party. That's when I decided, if I'm not welcome to the wedding, then my gift isn't welcome either. I sent a formal cancellation email to the venue the next day and received a confirmation that my $5,000 deposit would be refunded. Then I blocked Anna on all platforms, turned my phone off, and went for drinks with Ryan to decompress. I woke up the next morning to dozens of missed calls from Anna and her parents. While I was still processing everything, Anna's mother showed up at my apartment, practically on her knees in the hallway. She was begging me not to ruin everything and pleading that I was destroying her daughter's special day out of spite. I explained that I only took back my gift after being uninvited from the wedding, which seemed perfectly reasonable to me. The family group chat exploded with drama. Am I wrong for taking back my venue gift? Edit. Since a lot of people are asking for more details about the venue situation, yes, I was the only one who signed the contract. The venue was offering a 75% discount as a personal favor to me because of my relationship with my godmother. Anna and Peter didn't put down any money toward the venue at all. The $5,000 deposit came entirely from me as my gift to them. The remaining balance would have been due 2 weeks before the wedding, which they hadn't paid yet either. Edit 2. To clarify the timeline, their wedding is scheduled for 3 weeks from now, so they're scrambling to find a new venue on extremely short notice during peak wedding season. Edit 3. Some people have suggested that I should have given more warning before canceling the venue. To be clear, Anna uninvited me only 3 weeks to go before the wedding. I canceled the venue the day after she uninvited me. If she wanted more consideration from me, maybe she should have shown me the same courtesy. Edit 4. Several people have pointed out that I technically could have been sued for canceling the venue. According to my grandmother, who owns the place, the contract I signed gives me the right to cancel with full refund up to 2 weeks before the event, so I was well within my rights legally. Also, the discount was contingent on me being the booking party. If I pulled out, the discount would no longer apply anyway. Edit 5. For all those wondering about the aftermath, I'm hearing through family that Anna and Peter are technically calling every venue in a 50-mile radius trying to find something available on such short notice. Apparently, they're having no luck so far. Not my problem, though. Edit 10. Last update for tonight. My godmother just texted me that Anna's parents tried to book the venue directly, thinking they could bypass me. My godmother told them the family discount was off the table and quoted them the full price, $20,000, which they couldn't afford. I'll post a full update in a few days once the dust settles. Thanks again for the support, everyone. Canceling the venue was the only fair response. You legally signed the contract and were well within your rights. Frankly, it's shocking that she thought she could treat you like that and get away with it. Update. First of all, thank you to everyone who commented on my original post. The overwhelming support helped me stay strong through what turned into an absolute circus. For those asking for an update, buckle up because this got even messier than I anticipated. After I posted, things escalated quickly. Anna and her family tried every possible avenue to get the venue back. They called my godmother directly, multiple times, showed up at her house unannounced, tried booking through different names, and even had extended family members I barely know reach out to plead their case. My godmother stood firm through it all. When they had tried booking directly, she not only refused the family discount but actually increased the price to her standard rates for peak season weddings. My phone continued to blow up with texts and calls, which I mostly ignored. After a week of desperate searching, Anna managed to secure the community center at a local park. It wasn't ideal, but at least it was indoors with air conditioning. Crisis averted, right? Nope. 2 days later, the community center was actually double booked due to an administrative error. The park offered them the covered picnic area instead, which is basically just a concrete slab with a roof and some built-in tables. Anna was apparently devastated but still refused to change the date. Her reasoning, according to Tyler, was, I'm not letting her win by postponing my special day. So the picnic area it was. 1 week before the wedding, we had several days of heavy rain, and the park's picnic area flooded. The electrical system was damaged, and the park management canceled all bookings due to safety concerns. Anna was now venueless with just 6 days to go. Her last resort was the parking lot behind her fiancé's buddy's restaurant. The restaurant owner agreed to rope off a section for the lot and set up a tent for the ceremony and reception. Guests were being told to bring their own chairs if possible because they couldn't find enough rentals on short notice. I actually got invited to a wedding viewing party by some other cousins who were also excluded from the guest list. They planned to drive by the parking lot wedding to witness the disaster firsthand. The day before the wedding, Anna's mother reached out with what I guess she thought was an apology. She said something like, "We all say things we don't mean when we're stressed, and I'm sure Anna didn't really mean to uninvite you." Then she immediately pivoted to begging for help with the venue situation, offering to pay me back for the deposit, plus a little extra for your trouble. I blocked her. Wedding day arrived, and it was 90 degrees Fahrenheit, with humidity that made it feel like walking through soup. They had wobbly plastic chairs arranged in rows, party store decorations that were already wilting in the heat, and a makeshift altar positioned between two parked cars. The restaurant couldn't spare the entire lot, apparently. According to my relative, only about half the invited guests actually showed up. The next day, wedding photos started circulating on social media. Anna looked absolutely miserable in every single shot. Her makeup was melting, her hair had completely fallen flat in the humidity, and there was a visible sweat stain down the back of her dress. Guests were complaining in the comments about this heat, the smell from nearby dumpsters, and the lack of proper bathroom facilities. So there you have it. My cousin uninvited me from her wedding, but expected to keep my generous gift. I took back what was mine, and she ended up getting married in a parking lot during a heat wave. I'd say karma handled this one pretty efficiently. Edit. Thanks for all the awards and supportive comments. I didn't expect this to blow up like it did. The saga continues, so I'll probably post another update in a couple of weeks. Edit 2. For those concerned about my godmother, don't be. She's a tough cookie who runs a successful venue business and doesn't tolerate nonsense from anyone, family or not. She told me she's dealt with far worse bridezillas in her time. Final update. It's been a little over a month since my last update, and I'm back with the final chapter of this saga. After enjoying a honeymoon period of schadenfreude following the parking lot wedding disaster, I figured the drama was mostly over. I was very wrong. First, let's talk about the wedding day chaos that I didn't know about before. The food from the restaurant was served cold because they didn't have the proper warming equipment for the parking lot setup. The cash bar, yes, they had a cash bar after making everyone bring their own chairs, ran out of ice within the first hour, so everyone was drinking lukewarm beverages in 90-degree heat. The bathroom situation was even worse than I initially heard. The line stretched across the entire parking lot, and several guests gave up and left early because of it. Oh, and 3 guests got their cars towed because they accidentally parked in the wrong section of the lot that wasn't reserved for the wedding. But wait, there's more. According to my cousin, Tyler, who has become my dedicated gossip correspondent, Anna and Peter had a massive fight during the reception. Apparently, Peter disappeared for about 2 hours with one of the bridesmaids. Yes, the same one who had been added to the bridal party last minute from his side. When he finally returned, he was clearly intoxicated and proceeded to make an inappropriate toast about their wedding night plans that made several older relatives leave immediately. Tyler sent me a video that I wasn't expecting, footage of Anna's complete meltdown when the restaurant owner asked the wedding to end early due to noise complaints from neighboring businesses. In the video, Anna is screaming at the owner, then turns and throws what's left of the wedding cake at Peter, staining her dress in the process. The night apparently ended with a fight breaking out between 2 groomsmen, and the police were called. Nothing says happily ever after like your wedding party being broken up by cops. My godmother called me last week with some surprising news. Anna had contacted the venue again 3 weeks after the wedding, begging to book it for a do-over reception. She claimed it deserved a second chance at a proper celebration and even tried to guilt my godmother by saying the parking lot wedding had been traumatizing. My godmother not only denied the request, but recorded Anna's phone tantrum when she was told no. The recording is something else. There's a lot of screaming about how she ruined my life, apparently referring to me, and how no one understands what I've been through. So that's where things stand now. Edit. To those suggesting I should feel sympathy for Anna, why? She tried to use me, insulted me behind my back, uninvited me from the wedding while expecting to keep my gift, harassed me online, and then blamed me for her failed marriage. Edit 1. This will be my last update on the situation. The drama has mostly died down. Thanks to everyone who followed along and offered support. You went above and beyond, securing a stunning venue at a massive discount, paying the deposit yourself, and doing everything in your power to make Anna's wedding magazine worthy. And what did she do? Insulted you, excluded you, and uninvited you while expecting to keep your gift. Wilting decorations, wobbly chairs, lukewarm drinks, towed cars, long bathroom lines, a cake fight, cops called, and a visibly miserable bride in every photo. Honestly, it's hard to imagine a more perfect karmic outcome. Anna and Peter got what they deserved, hands down. Have you ever gone above and beyond for someone only to have them completely take you for granted? Share your stories with us in the comments. Thank you for joining us today in the rLounge. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. Until next time. And please put your chair, wobbly or not, back where you found it.